This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side fly, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hi, I'm Micke Mörbult, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Micke Mörbult.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty fine. It's 10 p.m. my time, and we're doing a podcast.
And where will the Bearded Bro be next event-wise?
That is a very good question, as I'm moving cities currently, and I haven't been approached about any upcoming shows, except for something in possibly January with Freedom Pro Wrestling in Stockholm.
Okay. And where can we find you on social media as well?
All right. Excuse me. Yes, you can find me at Micke Morbult, most places. MICKE MORBULT.
Alright, and merchandise?
Merchandise, whenever available, I have it with me at shows. I'm looking to find a good distributor for when I hit it big. If I want a web shop or something, but currently my Ko-fi and just meeting me at shows, buying merch that way.
Alright.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go looking for any of the links to any of his social media. All of the links will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright. Let's get into it. You work for Freedom Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Yes, it's equal parts like a wrestling union as well as a wrestling promotion. It is run as a essentially a club that does wrestling. So I'm on the board, so to speak, but only in a formal sense currently.
Okay, and
so,
it's joined with the school ran by Markus of Man, correct?
yes, they are not formally like associated with Freedom Pro, but I am a student of Steel Tracks Performance Center in Stockholm as well.
Okay. Now can you tell us about your bearded brother, Magnus Morbult?
Yeah, he's great. What would you like to know about him?
Just your relationship.
Currently a little strained. We haven't seen each other that much. I meet him at practices, and yeah, I think last time we hung out, like for real, was in this summer sometime. Him and Dakota Duke came out and we hung out by the lake and yeah, drank beer and had fun.
Now, you did start as a tag team, but it does
Yeah.
seem like you two are kind of going separate ways in singles action. Would I be wrong in that?
No, I don't think you would be wrong in that, mostly because of wrestling politics. I don't wrestle in the same places as he does these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Can you tell us about your relationship with Dakota Duke? She was your manager.
Oh, for a short while, yeah. Officially, she's still the Bearded Brothers manager, but these days it looks more like she's managing and tag teaming with Magnus. So them's the breaks. I'm just happy when I get to be in the ring sometimes.
Well, you did have a training video with Magnus where Dakota was getting you two into shape. Can you tell us
Yeah.
about that?
It was a nice day. We went out to a horse farm or a ranch, I suppose it's called, where Dakota hangs out sometimes, and did some lifting and petted some horses and shoveled some shit, as you do. To be fair, I'd like to go back there. It's very nice. Maybe not in the winter though.
I did love that, you were he was I believe Magnus was struggling with the tire and you had to tag in to help him flip the tire.
That's what tag teams do, man. That's what tag teams do.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Yeah, makes the dream work.
Now, you were actually able to wrestle Markus of Man, who is,
Yes.
essentially taking the wrestling scene on his back, so to speak, by training all of the wrestlers. Making that scene, bigger than it currently is. So what was it the experience like wrestling Markus?
It was very nice. He is a great wrestler, and I appreciate him a lot. The fact that he targeted my knees it wasn't very nice of him, but I got the upper hand in the end. He is not a large man, bigger than some, not me. And his specific style of wrestling, it is something that I am not too adept in. The grappling and the catch as catch can, like most wrestlers in the British Isles, he has a pretty specific style. While in Sweden we wrestle a little bit more strong style, but we focus on some grappling during training at least, so it's fun.
What did it kind of mean to you to be in the ring with him? Knowing him actually being your teacher, and all of that.
It means a lot that he trusts me enough to be in the ring with him. It's nice.
All right. Well, I think it's time for Mickey's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
A road story that fits that description. Well, I've essentially only wrestled in Stockholm these days. I meet a lot of people while in transit. as I don't have a car and I don't drive that much anymore, I ride the subway a lot, and I meet fans after shows when I'm on my way home out into the wilderness of the north, and people are generally very nice. Not a lot of weird things happen, not to me yet, at least. Come back in a year, and I'll have some road stories for you.
You got yourself a deal. All right.
All right.
Now, can you tell us about having an over 700-day learning streak on Duolingo?
Oh yeah, I think it's up to 748 or 50 or something. Um, I'm learning both Japanese and Finnish for wrestling's sake. As I speak English pretty fluently,
As I
because
can tell.
yeah, that's this would have been hard otherwise. But I mean, English is the second language of most Swedish students. But yeah, I learned Finnish because we had a lot of Finnish people come over to wrestle. And we have very very nice ties with both FCF and slam wrestling,
Right.
as well as one of my other teachers, Alice Inc., is going to Japan now, which is one of my goals.
Is it difficult learning two languages at the same time? Because I've learned some Japanese, and I can't imagine trying to learn a second language while learning that one.
Well, it is difficult, and I wouldn't say that I'm great at either of those languages yet. But if you do it enough, then there's a flow. And with Finnish, at least, it's the same characters, the same letters.
Okay.
They have a lot of Swedish loan words as well, as they were an occupied state for a while.
Gengi
By Swedish.
deska?
Excuse me?
Gengi deska?
Genki desu ka? As I said, it's been a while since I spoke Japanese, and I can recognize it, but I can't put it in context. Sorry.
Fair enough. Right. So I mean, when you are going to slam wrestling, I imagine that your eyes would be on somebody like Starbuck, right?
As I said, I'm not going to slam wrestling anytime soon. Maybe FCF, and then I'd be looking for King Kong Karla, or the monster over there.
Okay.
They're big dudes, and I have some unfinished business with Karla.
Ah, so it's a revenge scheme.
I mean, he did. Let's see if I remember what it was. I think he body slammed me while I was just trying to help.
All right.
So, yeah, unfinished business.
Now, is there any meaning behind your bear trap tattoo?
Well, it's so that I know which side to take the headlock on. Also, I mean, on that same arm, I have a bear tattoo as well, and I have a third bear-themed tattoo on my leg as well, which you might have seen in pictures. It's a running theme, mostly because I'm big and hairy, and people correlate that with beerness. Bareness, I mean. Sound like Alice.
I did notice that one, and I also noticed the pineapple tattoo as well.
Yeah. It is not a swinger thing. It's because I like pineapples, though.
Has any of your tattoos have significant meaning to you?
Yes, the frog and the salamander on my ribs, they signify 2 stages of my life cycle, of which there are 3 parts. The third part hasn't come yet for me. I need to schedule an appointment and win on the lottery to be able to afford to make that tattoo. But yes, the frog in this case, an anthropomorphized frog carrying a katana and cutting his hand open, signifies the Knight of Swords, a young warrior being foolish and getting into something that he probably shouldn't get into, and the salamander wearing more formal clothes, cutting wheat with his katana, signifying the Knight of Pentacles, a more reasonable, more seasoned knight with the promise of prosperity. And the third part will be death, of course, signified possibly by a cat clad in white playing a shamisen. But
Okay.
we'll see where that appears in the future.
Other than that tattoo, is there any ideas for other tattoos?
There are many tattoo ideas, but I recommend people follow me on Instagram for updates on that.
Okay. Well, speaking of swords, you've had sword training, no?
Yes, I did HEMA practice for like 6 years, and I have not entirely given up on it. Where I'm moving now, I might get back into it more as a formality, get my seniority status, and maybe starting a fencing school of my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
It's something to do.
Was sword training something you really wanted to do when you got into it?
It was very fun to do. It was a great outlet for my anger as a youth, and it was important for me to move. And I didn't want to play land hockey or football or do I don't know, wrestling by then. So I got into fencing. It was important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as everybody knows, you are, the bearded brother. You do have a fantastic beard, if I do say so
Yeah.
myself.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about the perfect beard care regimen?
All right. So it starts out with a lack of razors, a fear of electric razors, specific genes that make you go bald and grow hair everywhere else. If you spill enough beer, it will grow nice and long and thick, which is why it's only nice and long and thick around the mouth area and not on the cheeks. What more? Wood smoke, nice outdoors, getting punched now and then. I think that about sums it up.
That being said, other than yourself, who has the best beard in pro wrestling?
The best beard in pro wrestling, I think that honor goes to the late Brody Lee.
Okay.
Maybe his brother Eric Rowan.
Okay. Now, you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan?
I prefer to play tabletop RPGs. RPGs, yes. Maybe not Dungeons and Dragons as my front runner in that aspect. I'm a firm believer of begging people to play other games.
Okay. Well, I'm not entirely educated on other tabletop others than Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, that's the main one. But
Sure.
can you tell us about your love of tabletop games?
I started playing RPGs or TTRPGs back in 2009, and I haven't stopped since then. So something is either going very right or very wrong, and somebody should check on me. No, it's a point. The point of them for me is to escape reality and explore ideas that I don't have the means to explore in real life, which is nice. It's good that a couple of good friends, some pens, some paper, a couple of dice. It's good.
You were actually
I highly recommend it for people.
you were actually a part of a podcast that streamed your games, no?
A lot of podcasts, playing a lot of games. I've been on. Let's see here. I've been on a Star Trek Adventures podcast, the 10th Fleet. Shout out to the 10th Fleet. I played in 2 or 3 games with Mikey over on Vibe Tribe Productions.
Yes.
The D&D Vibe Tribe, as well as there are more that I can't name right now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Are you currently in any campaign?
I play a little bit with the people at my home table, but since I will be moving soon, then it won't be as easy to play with them. But whenever I'm in Stockholm, I'll try to fit a game in.
Okay. You mentioned Star Trek.
Yep.
Can you tell us about your love of Star Trek?
My love of Star Trek started sometime in 2017 when I moved to Stockholm. I got into Voyager with the recommendation from a friend who has seen most of it, and fell in love that way. I walked all the way through that, and then DS9. I think I watched TNG in conjunction with DS9, and then I started with Enterprise again, but I didn't finish it. The original series is a little clunky for me,
Right.
but the movies are great.
What has been your favorite fleet crew?
Could you repeat the question?
Oh, what's your favorite crew?
Crew. All right. I think it's the DS9 crew. There's something about subverting a fascist state in order to liberate people.
Okay.
Yeah. And I highly empathize with the Bajoran people and their freedom.
Alright. Maybe my research took me too deep. Maybe I'm reading too much into things. Studio Ghibli fan?
Yeah. I wonder where you got that idea though.
Well, like I said, my research goes deep.
Ah, fair.
So tell us about your love of Studio Ghibli.
Well, like anyone that likes both slice of life and like advanced fantasy and a little bit of steampunk and stuff, Ghibli's where it's at. I am a little bit of a weeb with my likings of anime, and I read a lot of manga in my youth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but these days I barely read. I mostly just watch things and listen.
What's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie?
It's a tie between Howl's Moving Castle and Porco Rosso.
Definitely. Howl's Moving Castle is definitely in my top three.
Cool.
What other animes did you either read or watch?
I used to read One Piece way back when, and I watched a lot of both Jinga Negareboshi Jin or Silver Fang, since it was the first anime to be dubbed into Swedish.
Wow.
Fun fact. As well as Rurouni Kenshin, or Samurai X, as many people know it.
Okay. And how far did you get into One Piece? Because we're like at over 1,000 chapters.
I think I read about 40 of them suckers.
40.
Yeah, 40 of them little blue books.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any left. I have to check.
Alright. Now, you do a lot of weightlifting. And
Yep.
I always say that there's a difference between working out and lifting weights. There's something more to it for people. What significance do you get out of lifting weights?
I like lifting. It's a good place. The rules are very simple, essentially. Everybody adheres to the same rules, or should at least adhere to the same rules. And well, it's there's a very special thing about picking up like incredible amounts of iron, sometimes coated in plastic or rubber, but otherwise not. And it's freeing, while also weighing you down, grounding you in the moment. It's convoluted and poetic and sweaty and smelly, but it's fun. I like it. Makes the voices go away.
Now, can you tell us about your love of karaoke?
My love for karaoke, it comes from well, getting into wrestling as well as going with a couple of friends from my the bar that I frequent, essentially, other regulars there. And I chose War Pigs as a good song because I know the lyrics for once. But Markus of Man sings karaoke as well. We actually after a long night of drinking. We ended up at his place, and we sang old show tunes into the death of night. I'm amazed that he didn't get evicted. It was so fun.
Well, I think that's a good segue into the colossal question. Let's say you're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
That's a very good question. I like that one. What would it be? What would it be? With risk of outing myself as a terrible human being, they're not my favorite band, but I think one of the songs would be. I think It Only Takes a Fortnight to Grow a Decent Beard by The Beards.
Okay.
Heavy Metal by Judas Priest, and Footprints by Warning, an English doom metal band.
Okay.
Which is probably my favorite band and my favorite song.
Now that we got the soundtrack out of the way, we all know you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays yourself? And you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stanley S cameo.
Ah, you mean like that? Well, as someone who took acting in high school, I would say myself, but in this case, I would probably say. Well, it probably won't be a good movie, but I'd say The Rock.
Oh yeah. You'll get a
It's either him or
The Rocket.
I don't know about the Rock actually. It seems more like a better fit for Ken Sane's biopic.
I mean,
Yeah.
The Rock's still a pretty good choice.
Sure.
Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people in your movie significant to you in your story, and who would play them?
Fair. I think Sylvester Stallone would be playing Markus of Man.
Okay.
What more do we have? You caught me drawing a blank here. This is a very hard question.
We could come back to it if you'd like.
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay. I believe you answered this question already, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I mean, as a proud Hawaiian pizza enjoyer, I say yes. It is just a weird meme that people don't like fruit on their pizza.
Oh no, there are some people that are very passionate about their disdain for pineapple on pizza.
Do you have their names? I just want to talk.
Oh, I'm sure there's some people that just want to talk to you as well.
Sure. Let's make that a nice rumble.
Yeah, polite conversation. What's your spirit Pokemon?
I wasn't a very big Pokemon fan back when, but I did have a Lapras card that I really liked.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Doug? THUG.
I do not. Sorry.
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. 'Cause a Doug can't spell.
Fair.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
I'll give them a look.
Now, the weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully.
Hmm.
Would you ever consider wrestling a rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical rock.
As someone who has been known to want to headbutt like brick buildings, yeah, I wouldn't put it past me.
Okay. Well, just for context, there is this wrestler named Psycho Mike that wrestled an actual rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron
Ah,
Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
fair enough. I wouldn't do 2 weeks, but I would go an I Quit match against The Rock, I think.
Ooh, interesting. Have the tape recorder like the Rock and the other Rock and recording him say "I quit."
Fair enough.
But did you find 2 more people to be your supporting cast?
I don't think I did. I'll have to answer on a postcard on that one, I think.
Fair enough. I mean, you still have a great soundtrack, and you got The Rock and Sylvester Stallone in your movie, so it still sounds pretty good. And you could
Yeah.
pre-order the tickets now. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully I've finished a tour of the British Isles in that time. But we'll see. Hopefully I can make a little bit more money than I do currently, since I've only been active for like 2 years. So coming up on my 7th year as a wrestler, I think it's a good chance that I might have at least had a championship by then.
Alright. And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about?
It's a good question. There aren't many of my matches available for people to see currently, but I'll try to put some out there in the future.
Is there something we could maybe find now on YouTube?
Well, since I don't YouTube myself all that much, go watch some Freedom Pro matches, some Stockholm Wrestling matches, even though I don't work for them anymore. Yeah,
Okay.
support the Swedish wrestling scene.
Alright. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of the This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Sure. I'm ready.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Uh, hmm. The Man.
Worst wrestler of all time.
Logan Paul.
Your main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Brock Lesnar.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
The Undertakers.
Which version?
Ooh, the longest one.
So
The church bells.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
A waste of your time.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
I think it's a vegetable.
It is indeed a fruit.
Interesting.
It has seeds, so tomato logic. But
It grows on the ground. I mean, by the same logic, then a cucumber is a fruit. So
we're just sticking to squash. We're not
Sure.
getting into the whole of fruit and vegetable argument.
I mean, we can be here all night, buddy.
Exactly, and that's why we're not getting into it. But you are a part of Squash Squad, and that means a whole lot more. Alright, New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
As much as you can get away with. And as little as you can get away with.
Alright. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
Not about Darby Allin, but I have had many conversations about wrestling in supermarkets for some reason.
And there's the correct answer.
Hmm.
And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Thank you.
Once again, where can we find all things Mickey on social media?
At Micke Mörbult. It's out there.
That's X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yep.
Alright, and you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link, a new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow. Of course,
Much appreciated.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. We're on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rose Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us tomorrow as we interview Alex Ace. And join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on X, Instagram, and Thread. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Okay, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Alright.
For our special guest, Micke Mörbult, Coleco Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.